Hello! So today we are going to talk about z-scores. Z-scores are the number of standard deviation units a raw score is from the mean. Now, z-scores can be either positive or negative depending on if they are above or below the mean on a standard curve. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. What is the percentage of cases above a z-score of 2.57? The first step in finding that percentage is going to be to draw your curve, which I have already done. And the second step is going to be to plot, shade, and percentage. So in order to plot, we have our z-score of 2.57. So let's go ahead and just throw that on there. That's a little squiggly line. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, and for shading, what part do we shade? Now we're looking for above that z-score. So since the z-score is here, this is the area that we are looking for here. And then for our percentage, we pull out our handy dandy table here and we go down to 2.5 and then over to 0.7. That's going to give us 49.49. Now that table tells us what percentage is between the z-score and the mean, so that percentage is going to go right here, 49.49. Okay, so now we just need to find this area here. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do it. The first way is to take 50, subtract your percentage that you have here, which is 49.49, and that's going to give you 0.51. So 0.51% is our answer. So you may be asking, where did you get 50 from? Well, I will tell you. So when you're looking at the whole curve, this is a little imaginary box that goes around the entire curve. So when you're looking at the entire thing, this constitutes 100% of a curve. This area here, all of this here is 50%, and then everything over here is 50% as well. So since this is the area that we're dealing with right here, you can take the 50% of this part of the curve right here, subtract your percentage here, and that's going to give you what is left over here of the 0.51%. Now, another way that you can do it is because this part of your curve is 50%, you can take 50% of this part of the curve, add this part as well. So we've got 49.49. That's going to give us 99.49. Okay, so that's this entire area here. All of the pink area is going to be that 99.49. Now we don't need any of that. We just need this little area here. So since this whole entire curve is 100% of a curve, you take 100 minus this number here, 99.49, and that's going to give you the exact same answer, so 0.51%. So whatever way is easiest for you, they both work the same way. Okay, let's try another. Find the percentage of scores above a z-score of negative 1.05. Now, since our z-score is a negative number, it is going to go on the left side of our curve below the mean. So, first step is to draw the curve, which we have already done. So now let's PSP. So let's plot the z-score. So the z-score is a negative 1.05. Okay. And now as far as shading, since we are once again looking for above that z-score, we count everything above that z-score. So we are looking for this entire area here. All of this is what we are looking for. Okay, so then we pull out our table here and look up our z-score of a 1.05. Now whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter when you're putting the percentage in. So we have 1.05. That's going to give us a 35.31%. So that's going to go right here. So we've got 35.31% because that table tells us what's between the z-score here and the mean over here. So now, in order to find the percentage of this whole shaded area, we take this amount here, which is the 35.31, and we're going to add that to the remainder of the curve, which, as we discussed earlier, this section of the curve right here constitutes 50% of the curve. So we will add that to 50, and that's going to give us a total of 85.31%. And then we label 85.31%. And there it is. Let's try one below a z-score. Find the percentage of scores below a z-score of 2.32. Now we've already drawn our curve, so let's plot shade and percentage. So our z-score is a positive number, so it goes to the right of the mean. So let's put it right here. So we've got a 2.32 for the z-score. Now we are looking for the percentage of scores below that z-score. So we are going to be looking for everything below that z-score, this entire area. There we go. Okay, now let's find our percentage. So we look up on our table and we go to 2.3, go over to 2. That's going to give us 48.98. So that is going to go right here, 48.98, because it is between the z-score and the mean. So in order to find this whole area, we take our percentage of 48.98, and then we add that to this half of the curve over here. So that is 50. So when we add 48.98 to 50, that gives us 98.98. And then we label 98.98%. Easy. Okay, last one. Find the percentage of scores below a z-score of negative 0.56. Now, since our z-score is negative, that tells us that it's going to be on the left side of the mean, below the mean. So since our curve is already drawn, let's go ahead and plot shade and percent. So our z-score is negative 0.56, and we are looking for everything below that z-score. That is going to be this entire area here. And if we go and pull out our table and look up 0.56, go to 0.5 over here and over to 0.6, that is going to give us a percentage of 21.23. So since that table tells us what is between the mean and the z-score, it is going to go right here. So 21.23% here. And we are looking for this area here. So the two different ways we can do that, we can take 50, because this half of the curve here is what we're dealing with, minus the 21.23, and then that is going to give us 28.77. So then we label our curve 28.77. Okay, or the other way that we can do it is we can take this whole area here, which this half here is 50. We're going to add that to this percentage here, which is 21.23. That is going to give us 71.23. Now we take this amount here, which is the 71.23, and subtract it from the entire curve, and that's going to give us the remnants over here. So if we take 100 minus 71.23, that is going to give us 28.77. So those are the two different ways in which you can find that. And that is how you do above and below z-scores.